Let's go op shopping. Number 1, the material. Look for natural materials. Cottons, linens, wools, etc. was pre-60s, and polyester nylones came in around about the 70s and onwards. Number 2, zips. Metal zips are a great indicator that they're made in the pre-60s, 40s and 50s used them, and then onwards plastic zips were introduced in the late 60s. Here's a really great example of an item that I thought was vintage because of the great craftsmanship. It had a metal zip, fully lined, wool material. It was really good quality, something that you don't often see in modern clothing. So just look and study the garment to identify these little things. Number 2, the labels. So woven labels were used in the 40s, 50s, 60s, etc. And then printed labels came in after the 60s. And often if they don't have a label, you can look at the garment. Is it handmade? And often if you find an item with made in Australia, we don't make clothing anymore, so that's definitely made in the 70s or 80s. So that can be a really good indicator of what the age is of the garment. So here's an example of what I've just talked about. This item here that I found, you can clearly see it's polyester material. It has a printed label with care instructions. It has a size 18. These sizing changed in around about the 70s, I believe. So you can clearly tell that item's probably from the 80s. Next example is a cotton item, handmade, has a metal zip. It's definitely 50s. Ooh, what is this we found? I think I have to try this on. Now this is a showstopper. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. The sunglasses really make it, I believe. I reckon with a pair of boots is definitely would, I could rock this look. Maybe not today. We'll have a bit of a dance party and that's about it. This will be definitely going back on the rack. Not my style, I don't think. Oh, that's a shame. Next up is silhouettes. So often each decade has a particular silhouette and you can find these in modern day clothing to create that look for less, and if you can't find the true vintage, often modern clothing replicate this. Lastly, look for modern brands of retro and vintage inspired modern brands. To be frank, Australia doesn't have much true vintage like 30s and 40s that you can find willy-nilly in the op shop. So we mostly have a 70s and 80s influx. So, good luck finding. I found some goodies today, so it's a win. Happy vintage hunting.
Well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed coming along on my op shopping adventures on my day off. I'm looking very casual today. Yes. Anyway, hope you gave some tips and tricks on how to find some vintage in op shops. Bye!